Hello, my name is Janice Chinua, and I'm going to talk about an aspect in the African culture, and I'm going to demonstrate its importance. Yeah. So, what is African culture? So, African culture is a rich tapestry woven from diverse traditions, languages, beliefs, and customs that span over 54 countries and a lot, like thousands of ethnic groups in African culture. It is multifaceted and it's deeply rooted in the continent's history and social structures. So today I'm going to talk about the importance of the African culture, and I'm going to emphasize on the role of gender awareness in fostering equitable and inclusivity in society. So the African culture that I'm going to talk about today is oral traditions, whereby oral tradition is the cornerstone of African culture, whereby it serves as a vital means of preserving history. Whereby in African cultures, writing was not really known at that time, so our ancestors used to pass our cultures from one generation to another through oral traditions. Yeah. And this can be through, like, it preserves the history, education, and social values across generations. Like, in a continent such as Africa, with diverse ethnic groups and languages, oral tradition used to unify um, the dynamic force. It used to act as a unifying factor and a dynamic force. So I'm going to talk about, like, the preservation of history and heritage through the oral traditions. So, um, the historic narratives, such as the historic narratives, this can be through, like, storytellers. Like in many African communities, traditional storytellers are the custodians of history as they memorize and recite the epic tales, genealogies, and historical events, ensuring that community history is passed on accurately through generations. I as being I like our grandparents can use to pass, like, the traditional cultures and traditional stories from our communities through storytelling, whereby children from various ages used to, like, sit around, like, a fireplace, and the grandmother or the grandfather will sit down, tell the students about the rich history, the stories of various heroes, the various religious beliefs, and this ensures, like, the rich history of our African culture and heritage is passed from one generation to another, i.e., like the Gayots of the Mandika people, like in West Africa, have preserved the history of the Mali Empire and its legendary ruler Sundaintia Keita. Yeah, yes, and also through epic stories, yeah, about the heroes, about the wars, about marriage, love, and all that through stories. So, like, all our tradition includes, like, epic stories, like the epic, like, as I'd spoken about the Mandika people, um, like the epic Sundaniata or the Kebra Ngangas of Ethiopia, which narrates the origins and deeds of leaders and kingdoms. And these narratives provides a sense of identity and continuity, linking the present to the past. Yeah, and the rich history, helping us to understand our cultures. So next is cultural knowledge. I'll just state from the last statement. Cultural knowledge through proverbs and saying, "Kitendawili medali from ama," or sorry, or Ninizababu. Proverbs are a significant part of African oral tradition, whereby it can encapsulate wisdom and cultural knowledge in conscience, memorable phrases. Like in Kiswahili, we have this saying, ladies mother, like, asisikia la mkuvu hana gu, baba na ucha, and all that. That's um are examples of proverbs that I used to show teachings young young individuals in a creative and unique way. Yeah, like i.e. the Akan proverb such as the rain does not recognize anyone as a friend, it judges all equality or equally. It teaches about the impartiality of natural events and the importance of preparedness, i.e. like, okay, another I can give an example from the Kiswahili methali or proverb such as asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika na guu, whereby a child who doesn't listens to advices from parents and usually ends up in a lot of problems, which then comes in that leads to the consequences. Another example can be mtoto akilia wembe mpya, whereby if a person asks for something, even how much dangerous it is, even after warning them about the repercussions that just give them, they learn from their mistakes, whereby the razor blade will like cut them, will like harm them, and that will teach them like the dangers of the wembe, like the wembe. Yeah. So there's also folk tales and myths, whereby folktales and myths such as the Ananasi stories from the Akan people of Ghana convey cultural values, moral lessons, and explanations of natural phenomenon. These stories are often used to teach children about their heritage and social norms.